Okay, so good morning, everybody. Well, today I'm going to talk about a very relevant topic which often students and even professionals search about on internet, which is about how to be a fluent speaker. Because it has been seen that often when people have been working for a long time and even they are studying as a student, they find themselves not enough fluent in speaking in whatever language that is. Maybe it is Hindi, English, Gujarati, or whatsoever. So today I have a few tips with me which will certainly help the viewers in being a fluent speaker. And all these tips come from my own personal experience, and I've also used them at some point of time as a student, and that's how I've learned. So today I want to share those learnings with my viewers, and I've divided this particular topic into four parts, four phases, A, B, C, D. And in A phase, as you see on the screen, it's the first point is read, and read it aloud. Choose any source, a newspaper, or any book. Now, the first point of step for being a speaker is that you must know what you have to speak about, and that basically comes from knowledge from any other source that you are reading more. So, when you read more, you will normally find yourself talking more about that particular material. So, read, and read it aloud. Second is first read it aloud with the clear sound, right? In the first step, you may read it just at a glance, just to see whether you are familiar with the topic or not. But the second time when you're reading, read carefully, read cautiously, and read with a pause. Third is then speak the same material without looking at the source. Now, this is the most important point because when we're reading by looking at the source, it's very easier to read. But when you're reading without looking at the source, especially when we're giving viva voice or we are there in the interview, we often start looking here and there because maybe we don't have any words to speak, or maybe we are having less confidence, or maybe we have certain doubts in our mind. So whenever you are reading something, try to practice that reading by not looking at the source, and that will make you more confident. And that you can start with by reading in front of a mirror. So stand in front of a mirror, read any material for some time, and then just leave that material, and then start reading or speaking that material without looking at it. And then see for how long you can speak that material. Are you able to speak that material fully, or you are able to speak only one or two lines? So, and wherever you get stuck, that is another important point to notice over here. Wherever you get stuck in reading that material or speaking that material, start from the beginning. These particular steps are there for reading also when we are reading, because often when we are reading also, even by looking at any material, we at times we do make mistake. So the moment you have any mistake, you have missed any word, there is a space, and you have missed a paragraph, go from the beginning and start from the beginning. So, wherever you get stuck as a reader, try to start from the beginning. And when you are reading without a source, apply the same line at that step also. That means when you are speaking without looking at the material, wherever you are missing a certain line or wherever you're getting stuck in reading or speaking, try to start from the beginning. So repeat the above two steps till you can speak that particular material fluently. Please remember that material means we're going to start with first paragraph or first few lines initially, because the aim is to master the first few lines, and then we're going to go on with a few more paragraph or with the four pages, more pages in later stages. After you have mastered the A phase, we come to the B phase where our aim is to speak with a timer. Now, in this particular case, we're going to see whatever things we have learned in A phase, whether we can speak that material for 10 minutes or for certain time, for fixed time, and just to check our fluency and our continuity. Because if we can speak continuously for say 5 to 10 minutes, it may also mean that we have mastered that particular paragraph and we have more knowledge about that paragraph. Certainly, these cases will certainly help you when you're giving any answers in the interview, you are giving your viva voice, or you are talking to anybody in the professional or official meeting. Because certainly, those people who put in more ideas, who put in more data, they are the one who are normally heard. But if you just tend to keep quiet in the meeting or in the viva voice, you either lose your marks or you lose your impression also in that meeting. So the B phase is all about speak with the timer and see whether you can speak for minimum 10 minutes or not. Well, if 10 minutes is a long time for you guys, you can start with 4 minutes and then see how you can increase from 4 to 5 minutes to 6 minutes and so on. So try to speak continuously for 10 minutes, minimum 10 minutes and or not. And preferably we try to focus on the same paragraph that we have read. Reason being, we have just read that particular paragraph, we are fresh with that, we have more knowledge about that. So it's more likely that we are going to speak more about that particular material for a long time. Third phase is about increasing your vocabulary. No doubt, learning new words every day will certainly make a difference in your speech, because when you have more words, you certainly are a better orator, you are a better speaker. Because it has been seen that fluency has two main barriers. One barrier is when we do not have much knowledge, and second barrier is that when we struggle with the words. So when you know these different words that you can use as a web in your language, you will see that automatically sentences will start coming out from your mouth. But when you are lack of words, you're struggling with the words, you will see that you will speak one line and then maybe half a line and then you will stop over there. So increase your vocabulary, learn new words every day, make it a practice. I'm sure this will certainly help you in different phases. For example, as a student, if you are still preparing for the CAT exam or for any other entrance exam, I suppose vocabulary is one thing which will always help you in one way or the other way, right? If not in the exam, it will help you in your speeches and it will help you in your oratory skills as well. Use them in daily conversation, because certainly, no doubt we say that we should practice separately in front of the mirror for 10 minutes. But if you go, if you can't do that, if you don't have time for that, try to practice these things with the family members, with in your normal language, in your normal routine. So you don't have to separately go in the isolated room to practice this. As in when you're talking to your friends, you're talking to your teachers, your managers, your bosses, your family members, try to include those new learned words in the regular practice, because that way it will become your habit to use those words, and you will also remember those words for a long time. The last is repeat the above steps every day. And I tell you, practice is the thing which will make the whole difference. And see a difference in just 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the practice. Well, normally it has been seen that when you practice for more time, for example, you're practicing for 2, 3 hours every day, you will see that fluency, or you will tend to be a better speaker maybe in less time. But if you're just spending, say, 5 minutes every day or maybe 10 minutes every day, well, that will take more time for you to be a good speaker. So please remember one thing, fluency will automatically come when you are knowing more words, when you are knowing your topic that you have to speak about, and certainly when you have the practice or habit of speaking in a continuous manner. Because often you feel that people will say three words and then there'll be a pause and then they will continue after some time. Because that thing normally happens because they do not have that habit of speaking in the continuous manner. All right, so I repeat the steps again. They are very simple. Use them. They are guaranteed the steps that will actually help you in developing fluency in your communication. So the first is read aloud. Read it aloud for the very first time, whatever material you are reading, and try to use the material with which you are more comfortable with. Newspaper, I suggest, reason being, the knowledge of newspaper will certainly help us in interviews, in our exams, and even in our academics as well. Another suggestion is reading from the books, because in any case, as a student, you have to read the books, you have to read your subject books. So it is better to read that book and save your time during the exam. So read it aloud, read with the clear sound, with the clear voice, then speak the same material without looking at the source. And that is the test which will actually check whether you can speak now without looking at the source or not. Because see, if I'm reading any material for 2, 3 times, reading it by looking at it is very easy, I believe. But the challenge comes when you have to read or speak without looking at the source, and that is where you will see your weak areas. The weak areas, maybe you will forget certain words, you may forget certain material, you may forget the whole topic also, you may forget certain concepts. So the point is that when you're reading or speaking without looking at the material, and if you can speak like that, it will actually test whether the material that you have read has actually gone in your brain or not, right? So when you are getting stuck, start from the beginning. That is the normal practice. Repeat the above two steps till we can speak that particular material fluently. I repeat, start with the first paragraph and then gradually move on to two and three paragraphs. Second phase is speak with the timer and see whether you can speak continuously from minimum 10 minutes or not. 10 minutes is the time because we assume that people should be able to speak for minimum 10 minutes. But if you can't do that for a long time, try to speak for minimum 3 to 4 minutes and then gradually increase the time from 4 to 5 to 6 and to 7 minutes. But try to see, try to add on more material for the 10 minutes challenge. Reason being, you may forget certain, paragraph, certain lines from the paragraph, but try to keep the continuity by adding more lines on your own also. This way what will happen, you will have the habit of getting those lines and getting those words on your own, just in case if you forget certain points or certain words. Because see, normally in fluency we stop. Reason being, we do not know what to speak, or maybe our brain is not working for us to get those lines for us. But when you force yourself to get those new lines or to get those new words, you are actually making your brain work according to that. So get into the habit of forcing your brain to get new lines, to get new words, and then speak using those lines and speak using those words. But please remember, when you have the practice of daily practice of getting new words, learning new words, only then that habit of forcing your brain will help. Otherwise, if you are not reading at all, even if you force your brain for 10 hours, 24 hours, it won't get you a lot of ideas or a lot of lines to speak about. So practice speaking first with the material, then without the material, and then see how much you were able to add on to that material, right? Then is in the third phase we have increase your vocabulary, learn new words every day, use them in our daily conversation with your family members, with your friends. I remember as a student, I used to maintain a diary and used to learn five new words every day. No doubt at that time I was not using them, in my daily discussion with the people. But certainly at this stage, I realized how effective that habit was, because that habit actually helped a lot of people who I know in cracking the interviews and even in getting good marks in the exam. So learn new words every day, use them in your daily conversation. I'm sure these are the same tips that or the coaching centers who are coaching people for cracking CAT exam or any other exam are indeed teaching people. Last phase is about repeating the above steps every day and see the difference in just 2 to 3 weeks, depending on your practice. So ensure that you practice minimum for maybe 10 minutes in the morning and 10 minutes in the evening, and then see the difference yourself in 2 weeks. But please remember one thing: when you practice every day, that habit will eventually be part of your life. A day, day will come like that, because that habit of speaking regularly, for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes, will become part of your life. And then, even if you don't practice after that, you will see that you have been conditioned to behave and speak like that. That is what we know as a conditioning theory. So please remember, if you are not conditioned to speak fluently, you have to condition yourself to speak fluently by using these steps. And I'm sure they're very helpful in getting one person being more fluent, and they will certainly help you in your interviews, in your Viva Voice, and your other discussions in the organizations. Do leave your comment and do let me know your feedback about your output, any change that you see in your vocabulary, any change that you see in your communication in 2 to 3 weeks, and do let me know. I would love to learn more about that. So, thank you so much.